What's up, boys? Welcome back to the range. So a while ago, Sig Sauer introduced the P365 fuse, which kind of made a big version of the P365. Basically like a skinny Glock 19 for the most part, with a slightly longer barrel. It shoots better than a lot of the other guns in that family, but it doesn't shoot like a full-size gun. It still kind of shoots like a skinny gun. So talking to Neil over at Noise Fighters, he started a company called Kiral Defense, that's K-I-R-A-L, and he has this scheme that because the 365 has such a narrow slide, if we could add a bunch of weight below the slide, you could create something that potentially shoots on par with like an Alien. And he is kind of cheating because he's got the FDES XXL slide. It's got the ports and comp on it, saying that this is the ultimate form of the P365. The grip itself is intended to be like a 2011. So kind of that, one of the problems with skinny guns is they hit in your hand in a concentrated manner, whereas the 2011 has a wide grip, spreads it out. And there's a bunch of different grip tapes that come on it, but this is their diabolical grip tape, the most aggressive silicon carbide that you can put on it. And it is super duper spiky. Like, you have to be careful when you're putting your hand on it to squeeze it, but once you squeeze it, it does not move. I haven't even shot it yet. I don't even know if it's zeroed. It came with the, like, he basically sent the grip and the slide together to test on the gun. So we'll check it out and see what it is going to be. I really don't know what to expect. The ammo that we're going to be using is just some light loaded range loads, which will be the Buffalo Creek 115s, and this can potentially help you. So I'm just going to load up a mag and shoot, 5 rounds through the XL and then 5 rounds through this. We'll test it against some of the bigger guns I've got with me today as well to see if it truly lives up to the hype. Let's get going with the 365 fuse. Okay, now the Kiral Defense 6511. The zero's not good on it, but holy cow, that thing does not move. That's absolutely insane. Just because it has a 2011 grip shape, I'll try it with my I would say that it's slightly less than my limited optics gun, the Bull Armory Air. Let's put it on slow-mo and see what we get. All right, so the fuse is pretty mild recoiling for a skinny gun. Still pretty direct, but that is a range load. I'm gonna get another baseline with my competition 2011, which is the Bull Armory Air, and let's go. 'There's a lot less dot climb. It spreads the force out beautifully in the hand. It's moving a bigger chunk of metal, so predictably this is much softer shooting than the fuse, but let's try the 6511. .6511 probably has a little bit more muzzle climb. I'm curious to see what happens in the slow motion, but it is even softer in the palm than is the Bull. I'm curious just how much energy we're losing because of all the ports and comp or whatever you want to call this stuff going on with the slide. It's got a progressive series of ports, but this isn't an apples to apples comparison because this is a ported comped gun. So I do actually have my TAC Pro 5-inch with me, so we'll see how it goes next to that. TAC Pro is even a little bit lighter, I would say. They're very similar in hand. This gets the full benefit of a super heavy slide with it and the 5-inch bull barrel. I'm gonna get it zeroed. We'll throw it on the chrono and see just how much velocity we're losing due to that stuff. Baseline, the fuse. So average from the fuse is gonna be 1127. All right, 6511 with the FDES upper. 1035 is the average. That is a significant loss. So you lose about 100 feet per second with this fancy upper on the 115 grain ammo. It definitely is a lot flatter shooting, but at the same time, you're giving that up with terminal performance on the target. I'll run some practical drills and just see if it's exploitable. It definitely, absolutely is softer shooting, and the little like fake safety thumb ledge things actually make it feel right at home for a 2011 shooter, so that's all to the good. All right, I'm back at 15 yards. I've got an array of steel, 2 shots on each, only 1 makeup in the magazine for each run, so I'm gonna have to make them count. Can't just pin my ears back and race. So let's get going here. All right, here we go. First run's a 4.25. All right, 1 makeup taken there. That's a 4.99. 6511, Kiral Defense will go second. Oh, can't take another makeup because I'll go dry. It's a 5.16 with 1 miss. That's a 4.68. So a little bit slower than the 2011. Let's try it with the fuse. .483. Definitely had to let those sights clean up a little bit more to make the hits count. It definitely hits in the hand a lot harder. I'm curious with the non-compensated upper on the 6511 grip where we get, so I'll figure that out now. That's a 460. I think the trigger speed is going to slow me down a little bit. The 2011 has a nicer trigger, obviously. I tried to get a little froggy with it and paid for it with the makeup as a result, but that is still a 493. Even with the fuse slide on the 6511 lower, it's much more manageable. Like all the pop is mitigated based on just the sheer mass that is in this brass grip module. And this diabolical stuff, man, I can't imagine coming from the holster and having your hand kind of like slide across the texture. Super aggressive, super spiky grip, but it definitely stays planted. I'm curious though, with all those holes in the slide, what that's going to do at 25 yards. I've got some of my competition jacketed hollow points, so we'll see what kind of 10 shots groups we can put up. So there is like 15-mile-an-hour sustained winds gusting probably into the upper 20s. And it blew my target down, son of a gun. Can't get great consistency from the target, so let's just deal with this. 2011 goes first. Target's moving around a lot. That one got away from me. I can say trying to steady the lightweight gun, even though it's got a brass sleeve on it, it's easier with the bigger, heavier gun. It shoots well for a gun that's that light, but at the same time, the heavier just overall weight of the 2011 does stabilize it a little bit better. But at pace, I would say that it's more or less a wash. I feel like the barrel moves around because the ports start automatically. Like there's more slide movement with this upper than there was with the just regular fuse, and I think that's maybe due to the porting because you've got the gas starting to push the barrel around. Kind of interesting. I have no idea how those hits are, but I can tell you through the trigger pull, and it's the same trigger group that we shot the fuse upper with, it definitely moved around on the dot more than that other one. Let's go look at it. So there is the 2011. You can see the shot that got away from me right there. But this 0 is a little bit high for this ammo. It's new ammo I'm developing, so I haven't had a chance to zero the gun for it yet. But that's a pretty good, you know, got 3 of them basically touching right there, 2 more kind of in the area, then, you know, either the target was moving or I was. Come down here with the fuse slide. I mean, the accuracy is excellent. 3 that are touching, very good, but then all of them are kind of in the zone. For 10 shots, the fuse upper was able to get a little bit more out of it despite being harder to shoot, which is strange. So with the FDES, you can see that this group is just all over the place. There's no consistency, no rounds touching with the hollow points versus, what did Sig call them? The fuse? Yeah. Fuse upper, you can see that there's excellent consistency, much tighter grouping, just that one flyer where it got away from me. But this, it was just moving around as I pulled the trigger and I couldn't get it to steady, and I think it might be due to that porting. Could be the fact that the ports, you know, compromise the barrel. I don't know, but the fuse definitely grouped tighter. 2011 grouped tighter than that. So just checking how the guns track. We're at 7 yards. We'll do a bill drill and see what we get. We'll do it twice, partially to see trigger speed and partially just to see stability at speed. So here we go. All right, that was a 176, and that's a 22 split, 21 split, 20 split, 21 split. So 20 to 22 trigger speed. Came on target a little bit high, but that's a 170, and I've got a 19, 20, 21, 21, 19. So 19's the best we could get out of the 2011. The hits are pretty solid. One I pulled up high, but was walking it back down onto target. That's a 178. It's a 22, 21, 21, 21, 24. So roughly 22, 23 average. All right, with the FDES upper, that's a 174. That's a 22, 23, 20, 21, 23. The hits are a little bit better than I got with the 2011 because I came to the center of the target, but still pretty similar. 2011 versus can a P365 hang? Kind of. You're going to give up some of your precision if you go for the flattest shooting because of all of the holes that were poking in the barrel. The 2011 is kind of the standard for a reason. It's just very gentle shooting. The triggers are excellent, and the 365 is pretty universal. You can dress it up and get pretty darn close to 2011 stability. The grip helps immensely. Even with the fuse upper, the gun was performing excellently. Honestly, like, this could just be a fun thing to throw on the gun. You could make it viable in competition, potentially for like IDPA casually. Like, if you're going to shoot carry optics, you probably still want to go with a more meta style gun if you're trying to get every ounce of performance. But if you just want to gussy up your carry gun, I think this grip is a pretty cool option for that. So I'm not necessarily ditching 2011s for competition, but I was surprised how well a steroidally enhanced 365 can do. If you haven't seen my video on the Bull Armory Air, you can check that out here.